My straw bale gardens started in November. You can see that the tropical garden with the ginger and turmeric's doing really well. This is the Scotch bonnet bed with the companion planting of basil. Looking down at the ground, you can see the straw bale. What's left of the straw bales. And look at the tomato garden. This is the best way, in my opinion, to grow your own soil and know what's in your soil by sourcing your bales. See all the straw there. By sourcing your bales for straw that has not been grown on fields with broadleaf herbicide on it. And this is part of my Be a Raindrop series that Roots and Refuge Farm started. The movement, Be a Raindrop. Tell everybody you can about the broadleaf herbicides that are used. And I'm about to give you some information today that may get you out there buying your straw and starting your straw bale garden as soon as possible. Hey everyone, welcome to our Georgia suburban homestead. Here we are in mid-July. We finally started getting some rain after a 3-month drought, and the vegetables and flowers I planted are responding nicely. Well, we weren't the only area to suffer drought. There's a lot of drought going on in our nation's Midwest and Texas, and which I guess is Southwest, while other parts of the nation, are experience too much rain. This is a result of climate change or global warming, whatever you want to call it, and by now you should be acknowledging, or everyone should, that it is a real thing, and it is going to be impacting us along with the results of the war in Ukraine, and that resulting in COVID resulting in supply chain issues and crop failure and higher gas prices, inflation, and everything else that we're going through. That's so much fun here lately. Now, if you pay attention, you'll realize that meat prices are going to go way up, in beef, especially around the holidays, because of the drought in ranching country, where there's not enough rain to feed the pastures, and the pastures are failing. And on top of that, the hay that's being produced is going to suffer from the drought because the fields aren't getting the water they need for the wheat straw and the grains and the hay to flourish in order to cut it and sell it to us, those of us who have animals. So while we're looking at higher meat prices, with the farmers taking most of their herds to slaughter early, it's going to not meet demand when the holidays come, especially if you're in the habit of having large meat-based dinners for celebrations. But to we gardeners, whether you're vegetable-based diets or omnivores like we are, who grow in straw. 4 years ago, the average cost of a straw bale was $4. Right now, mid-July 2022, the average price of a straw bale nationwide is between $7 and $8. Some places it goes up to $12. This is going to seem inexpensive come this fall, when we should be seeing a large crop of wheat straw come in after the wheat harvests. Between the straw not being the quality it needs to be, the gas prices of shipping it across the country, and other factors, especially if you're sourcing from farmers who aren't using the broadleaf pesticides, herbicides, which is what you want to garden in because of the problems that the herbicides cause to whatever you plant in a straw bale or in soil that comes from that poisoning. You're going to see straw bales skyrocket in price. So because you can start a straw bale garden at any time of year, even if you don't plan to plant in that until later this fall or winter for your winter crops, or even if you don't plan on planting in it until next spring, you may want to go out right now and start searching for wheat straw that has not been grown on a field where the farmer has used something like the broadleaf herbicides that I mentioned in a prior video. There are a few out there. There's 3 or 4. Grazon is one of them. How do you tell if a bale has been grown on a field that has been sprayed with herbicide? You kind of look through the bale to the outsides, and if there's no weeds, if there's no traces of weed or weed stems that obviously aren't straw, then it's a toxic bale, chances are. Give me my bales with the weeds in it, because through the processing of your straw bale, the weed seeds will be killed non-toxically. I'll put a link below on how to do that. But if you're money conscious and you want to grow your own food, which may become a necessity rather than something you just do as a hobby, again, getting back to supply chains, you may want to go out now and find those bales. It may take a little bit of searching. You may have to go to local farmers who are just rolling their bales up for winter. But do start looking now. Put your bales in now. Watch my video that the link will provide below on how to actually do your straw bale and set it up. It'll be ready when you are. And let's say you set it up now, mid-July, and think, okay, I don't want to do any more garden this summer or this fall. But in the spring, by springtime, it will have decomposed a little bit. And what we do when we're first starting to fill a straw bale garden that's a raised bed with the walls, is we'll rake aside the stuff that's decomposing a little bit and put the new bales in and start that process. And we just do that until our soil level is up to a point where we can use it. But the straw will be good. Growing in it will be good, even if you start it now for next spring. So save a little bit of money, save a little bit of time, and go out and start it. And if you get this nicely cooked straw bales that you think you're not going to plant until next spring and say, let's go see what Lisa says what to plant this fall and winter, that's an upcoming video or 2 or 3. So I hope that you have found this information helpful and gives you something to think about. Supply and demand, drought, and everything that's impacting us, and how to bypass the problems and eat well at home and feed your neighbors and maybe others who are hungry too. Okay, so you like what I'm saying? You like what you're learning? Please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit that black bell so you get notifications on whatever else we're putting out. And until next time, see ya.